Evening all, welcome to Starbound. Right, this is just an exercise in futility, this really is. It was a Sunday, picture this, a Sunday afternoon. And I thought, you know what, I'm in a nerdy kind of mood. I'm just going to sit and build a little wood cabin on the planetoid 1244111 whatever, who cares? And I thought, you know what, this will be a nice little place to live, little base, to harvest trees and do all that stuff. So that's the scene. So picture this, look at this beautiful world. As I look into the distance, I see the clues. I don't know if you can spot them. See if you can see the clues that are obviously going to lead to, I guess, the meat of this video. Anyway, so here we go, building my little log cabin, and I decided that I was going to make this kind of a manufactory kind of place for wood. So you can see I'm actually planting saplings in little glass domes, and I'm able to farm lots of wood, which is useful because it's a useful resource. It's also a fuel as well. And as the sun sets on this beautiful paradise, I kill some birds, pick up some pixels, and just start to build the walls in the back of my wonderful log cabin of loveliness and awesomeness. Thinking where the sauna will go, thinking where the Swedish lady will go, who will obviously then feed me cocktails and drinks, etc. So everything is well with this planet. Obviously, the way that this game works is actually you build bases. You don't have to. You can live in your spaceship if you so wish, but I'm kind of sick of being a space hobo, so I thought I wanted just a planet that I could call home. I'm going to have to obviously write the coordinates down because there's so many planets you forget where they are after a while. So that makes it nice and interesting, but I just wanted somewhere where I could actually just, you know, treat as a bit of a base mine locally, so you could obviously build some good mining shafts, but more importantly, I think this was really just to try and get a bit of a kind of base where I could also grow crops for food, which again, you know, is all part of the survival piece. It was all going so well. It was going really well as I furnished this pleasant, lovely house with beds and tables and furniture, etc. And pretty much it was, you know, it was in theory looking quite promising. However, in this new version of Starbound, there are unfortunately what we call mini events, and the mini events are about to hit. And they're actually quite annoying. This particular planet suffers, let's say, from a pretty major problem, which is, well, you're about to see. It's meteorites. Oh, fuck. So there we go. All of my precious work. Not very happy. It's knocking the trees down as well. It's destroying my roof. I was not very impressed. Yeah, so as you can see, it's destroying my roof. Yeah, this going badly. What just represented an hour's worth of work has just been destroyed in about 30 seconds. So yeah, not too happy. Look at the trees, look at them fall. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I quite like it. It's pretty nice that they have these kind of, you know, I guess mini events. And as I'm doing this, bloody enemies start attacking me as well. So not particularly impressed. So at this point, you think to yourself, what do I do now? Do I sit and rebuild? Do I just move on? And the stubborn nature in me that had just seen Babylon 5, maybe a couple of days before, thought, no, we shall rebuild. So here we go. There's going to rebuild. Now, what I was thinking here is if this planet suffers from meteorites, and by the way, the clue is in the background. As the sun comes up, you'll see this whole planet is cratered with pockmarks of asteroids, of meteorites. And that's the giveaway. So if you come across a planet which doesn't have pockmarks, then chances are you're not going to have that as a problem. So just an FYI there, guys. But what I decided to do here was obviously rebuild. And I was starting to think, well, what can I do to make this a bit safer? Maybe that was a one-off. Part of me was thinking. So I naturally rebuilt. And I'm trying to kind of just get back, because again, a lot of the game really is just about the frustration of, you know, you want to try and create something that's not going to be wiped out in seconds, but unfortunately you still get wiped out by some bird that shoots fire out his mouth. Such is this game that you actually do get bothered about this, which I guess is a good thing, because you actually do get to the point where you think, do you know what, let's rebuild. And so part of me in rebuilding was thinking, well, let's actually get the crops growing as well. So, you know, part of me was hoping, you know, I guess the part of me that's really trusting of the world and hoping that everything will be okay. The optimistic side, let's say, was hoping that would be it. So here as I go, I plant my crops, I don my little bit of weed in the corner of my mouth, and I put my little weird hat on. and I start taking a fascination in goats and sheep, and I become a farmer. And I sit here and I think to myself, nope, it was a one-off. It would never happen again. So we also start to build a crafting station here. Now, this is actually something probably worth doing because often the ship is not big enough for a lot of stuff. So you could build a base here quite comfortably that would actually be, let's say, able to have multiple refineries, for example. You could have a laboratory. You can have a whole technology lab solution right on the planet as well. So, you know, building bases at the moment isn't terribly worthwhile, but the tools are coming in that make it better. So you're starting to get things come through like sentry guns. So you'll actually be able to defend against stuff. I imagine, I even saw a space heater as well. So one of the biggest problems you've got is twofold. There's atmosphereless environments, such as moons, etc. So you need oxygen. So you now have the ability to create oxygen suits, things like that. But the other one is cold. The cold is a big deal to all species, so you need to have the ability to defend against it. Currently, this is a temperate planet, so I'm not cold. I'm not suffering from cold. I'm not too hot or cold. So what they've put into the game now is called a space heater. So as long as you've got this thing locally, it will then heat a whole area of space. And so therefore you can have bases on on ice planets and snow planets as well. So it's really cool, really quite exciting. We'll show you this. We'll show you all of this, don't worry. But I wanted to show you this because it really was just an absolute exercise in futility pretty much from the get-go. And as you can see, I'm getting really into it again. Look at me building my little windows and everything. I'm getting really quite... Look at that, lamps, actual lamps. So yeah, as another day dawns, I'm sat here thinking those meteorites were a one-off. They weren't, as you'll see very soon. Lots of stuff you can do with the game as well, but there's a few things you can't do that are actually quite annoying. First one is you can't move your spawn location when you beam down to the planet. Post in the comments if I got that wrong, because certainly when we did some testing, I couldn't see a way to actually adjust the spawn. Maybe it's a later game item, maybe something like that. I don't know, but no matter, if you go to the planet, you'll always go to the same point and beam down at the same point. Even if you beam up from a different point, you beam back down where you originally spawned, which is annoying. So you have to build your base pretty much on the spawn point. It would be nice if you could actually build multiple spawn points as well, so you could have maybe like 2 or 3, so you could beam up, then move your ship, then beam down, that sort of thing. It would be pretty nice. But again, I would remind, this game is an alpha, a beta rather, I think. Is it alpha, beta? Either way, it's still developing, and I think it's going to grow quite a bit from there. So I think certainly things like this are probably just little things that they'll do. It's probably not that easy to program, so we'll certainly see this come, I'm sure. But in general, I think there is something very therapeutic about building a base. This was, to me, one of the key things of Terraria. Terraria, I think, worked because you could go and build a fantastic castle or a really cool underground cavern base, or even a sky castle. You could pretty much do anything you like, and you had the ability to have defenses. You could build doors, furniture, whatever. Now here I put in these, I don't know what they're called, the shock things. So if anything kind of walks on my roof, that will kill them. So again, I'm hoping that will kill a few birds and things as they kind of fly by my house. But we'll see. I think in terms of the crafting, though, they're certainly adding loads more items. And lo and behold, I just saw that thing, that bird didn't die. So that doesn't work. It sucks. But as you kind of get further into the game, you can do wiring. You can wire up and or not gates. So you can do quite a lot of complex sort of, kind of geeky stuff if you know electronics, etc. And you can do generally quite a bit with the game. So you can even, I think, do lighting. So you can actually have lights that switch off and on, etc. So it's quite cool. But I would say certainly the pleasure of the game is more than just exploration, killing, shooting. It is also settling down and building something as well. So I beam up to my ship to go and pick up some bits and bobs from the cargo piece, and I think to myself, yeah, maybe I should think about building cobblestone now, so it's stronger. And I think to myself, yeah, it's probably not too bad. Let's beam down. So as I beam down, what the bloody heck has just happened here again? So again, bloody meteorites have hit me. So surely you're saying at this point you would not rebuild. You would just say, yep, this is going to continually be hit by meteorites. It would be foolish. Only a fool would carry on building a house here. That's right, only a full wood. So let's rebuild this and let's put a stone roof upon it. Because surely stone would stop a meteorite, right? Surely, yeah, surely, bro, surely it would. Well, let's see. I think it's funny because you do have many different hundreds of blocks to build from as well. You could even build you know, this from titanium blocks, steel blocks, whatever it may be. So I think probably if you have this scenario where you're pretty much being hit by meteorites, you probably do need to build something like a steel or durasteel roof. I tried a stone roof here, and let's see how this one goes, because stone is obviously quite a strong material anyway. And in theory, it should be quite able to withstand a fair bit of punishment. Certainly because when you turn it into cobblestone block as well, it's actually quite strong, although the bloody birds are annoying. But anyway, in theory, this looks like it might work. Now, I was going to maybe put my electrical system back on it, but I'm not too sure if it works. So I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, so stone roof on, put my shock system back on, because hey, you never know. And then we start rebuilding. And this was representing maybe the second hour of my Sunday play here, and all was well with the world. And then all of a sudden, why did that tree fall over? And I think to myself, hang on, am I being shot? Is something going on? And I beamed up by mistake, because hey, I'm a noob. And I think to myself, why am I on my ship? Go beam down. Go on, beam down. And I think to myself, oh, maybe it was, oh, no, yep, that, oh, bugger. So, come on then, come on, bro, come at me, meteorite. Bollocks, it didn't work. And that was, I can tell you now, I literally was getting ready to slam my mouse down and scream murder at the screen, because it was like 2 hours of building this pissing house. And at this point, that's it. I'm packing up my toys. I'm repacking my ship. And I literally delete all coordinates to that place. I go to bed, and I literally set my jump drive to take me away from this horrible place, and and take me to somewhere less bullshitty. But there we go. That's the ballad of just an afternoon's play of this game. And I tell you what, it's pretty impressive that already it managed to show you something of interest like that. That, you know, you build something and then bloody meteorites hit you. I loved it. Next time, I think we're going to build a bit of a moon base, and we'll see how that goes. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.